Hey everybody, Jack Hammer reporting live from Levi Stadium, where the 49ers are in the process of wrapping up their Wednesday practice, their first day of preparations for the NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles. That game will be coming up on Sunday at noon Pacific time, live from the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Let's start off, as always, with the injury report for today. The players who missed practice: Jimmy Garoppolo. He went through some testing yesterday. He is not going to be participating this week. He will not be active at all. So not a big surprise there. Jimmy Garoppolo out of practice today. Joining Garoppolo on the sidelines were Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. Both of those players, not a big surprise. McCaffrey with a calf injury, Mitchell a groin. They were both listed on the post-game injury report following the 49ers victory over Dallas. So no big surprises there. Also, Trent Williams, he had his regular vet rest day today. It's typical for Trent Williams on the first day of practice to miss. He's been doing that since the start of the regular season. So no big news there. No surprises, I should say. As far as those that are limited, we had Charles Omenihu dealing with the oblique injury suffered against Dallas, and Ambry Thomas, the cornerback, returned to practice today. I've been missing a lot of time recently, but he finally was able to get back in a limited fashion. Deebo Samuel was reported as going to be out prior to the start of practice by Kyle Shanahan during his media session. But Samuel was out there participating. Don't know if he'll be listed as a limited participant, but he definitely was on the field going through all the drills with the rest of the receivers during the open session for the media. As far as Charles Omenihu, there was the arrest earlier this week for misdemeanor domestic violence. According to Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers, at this point, they've done all of their due diligence. They don't see any reason for Omenihu to not be a part of the team this weekend. If Omenihu is healthy, he will play on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. That is according to Kyle Shanahan earlier today. As far as the sites of practice, last week when I did my post-practice show, talked about how Brock Purdy was perfect, hit everything, everything was on the money. Was not the case today. He was a little scattershot during practice. Brian Gracie spent a little bit of time on the side with him during part of the early portion of warm-ups. Looked like he might have been struggling a little bit to get some of his reads down that they were working on. Then when they went to throwing with the receivers, I had 3 bad misses. One to George Kittle, just airmailed that one. Same thing on a throw to Juwan Jennings. He also had one of those on a throw on a slant route to Brandon Ayuk as well. So not the best day for Brock Purdy on the first day of install today for the game coming up against Philadelphia. It's going to be a really tough matchup for the 49ers. They're going to need Brock Purdy to play well. You look at the numbers, Philadelphia, their defense is much better this year, much improved. You hear a lot of talk about how their run defense gives up a lot of yards. I do think that that's a case, but I think also that has to do with, in some ways, teams that are behind still able to get runs on them. I don't think it's something that the 49ers are going to be able to go in there and just run the ball down their throat. I think it's going to be a situation where they're going to have to be able to throw the ball, and Brock Purdy's going to have to be able to back them up off the line of scrimmage in order for that run game to really start working. So Purdy's going to have to be accurate. It's going to be an interesting game in that there's a bunch of coaches that have ties to Iowa State. Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni played college football at Mount Union. He was a teammate of Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell. Matt Campbell was the coach there during his Brock Purdy's entire run. That is a situation in which Sirianni and Campbell spoke a lot about Brock Purdy, so he feels like he knows him really well. During his press conference yesterday, Sirianni was asked to give his thoughts on what he's learned in those conversations about Brock Purdy. And the number one first thing he said was he's a winner. A lot of people have been saying that lately. And so He went on to expand on that a little bit. Their defensive backs coach, assistant defensive backs coach, also has history with Brock Purdy. He was a secondary coach, cornerbacks and safeties at different times during Purdy's career at Iowa State. So a lot of information about Brock Purdy being shared amongst that coaching staff out there, stuff that they don't get on the film. This is inside information outside of just flipping on the All-22 and watching how a player performs. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out for the 49ers, for Brock Purdy, for this 49ers offense. Their defense is going to be in for a big challenge with Jalen Hurts. Hurts much improved this year throwing the ball. He's still a big run threat, but he's much improved on the passing side. So it's going to be interesting to see how the 49ers can handle that. They definitely have their hands full with this Philadelphia Eagles offense. So, that's the report here from Santa Clara on day one. Again, Jimmy Garoppolo not practicing, will not be a part of this week. Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, Trent Williams out of practice today. Williams with a rest day. McCaffrey and Mitchell. McCaffrey with the calf, Mitchell with the groin, and Charles Omenihu, Ambry Thomas listed as limited participants. So there you have it from day one of the 49ers getting ready for the NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a fun one. Keep it locked in here to the Jack Hammer channel for news, updates throughout the week as we get closer to game time. I'll be out in Philadelphia as well to bring you all the action. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and take care.